Okay, so today we're going to continue talking about circles, and on this one, we're going to talk about arc measures. Now, the arc is the outside edge of a circle. Okay, so let's first talk about angles because they kind of go together. So, a central angle is an angle in a circle whose vertex is on the center of the circle. So if you look right here, this circle down here, I kind of have some, look at the black, trying to focus on the black lines. I'll show you what the red and the blue mean in just a second. This angle C right here is what we call a central angle because the vertex is on the center of the circle and it's actually angle ACB. So the C is the vertex. Okay, so that's a central angle. A minor arc is a part of a circle whose central angle is less than 180 degrees. So we know 180 degrees is a straight line, so that would be a diameter. So a minor arc is the part of a circle inside a central angle that's less than 180 degrees. So it's less than a semicircle. Okay, so this AB right here, arc AB, would be what we call a minor arc because it's less than a halfway around a circle. A major arc is part of a circle that are not included in the minor arc. So if I start with A and go around a point D and then back to B, and I am not including that little minor arc right there, that's called a major arc. Okay, so arc A, D, B, and you need to go in order. I go from point A to point D to point B is a major arc. Now, a semicircle is an arc where the endpoints are the endpoints of a diameter. So let me just get a highlighter and show you guys. So if I if D is like another part of that point, so half the circle around would be a semicircle. Okay, so half the circle around is a semicircle, and that would be 180 degrees. All right. So when you're naming your arcs, let's just go back to this one we just did. A minor arc needs two endpoints, and it also has this little arc hook over it, okay? Kind of like a little arch, okay? It looks like an arc. So if you're naming a minor arc, you're going to have two endpoints. That means it's less than 180 degrees. It's less than a semicircle. A major arc needs 3 points on it, and make sure they go in order. So you need the two endpoints and 1 point between them. Okay, so again, it has arcs and it has 3. So if it has 2 points, it's talking about a minor arc. If it has 3 points, it's talking about a major arc. All right, so let's find some measures. So the measure of a minor arc equals the measure of its central angle. So if you know a central angle measure, then you know the measure of a minor arc. And they go both ways. If you know a minor arc's measure, then you know the angle measure, and they're both in degrees. Okay, arcs are also measured in degrees, just like angles are. So if you want to find a major arc, you're going to take 360 because 360 degrees is the amount of degrees it goes all the way around a circle. So 180 degrees is a straight line. But if you want to go all the way around a circle and come back to where you start with, that's a 360 degree arc or a 360 degree angle. Okay? So 360 minus the minor arc will tell you the measure of a major arc. All right, so let's just find some measures here. So this one has 2 blanks for us to do in this example. The first one they want us to do is find the measure of arc AB. So that's the measure of this arc right there, AB. Well, the central angle there is 50 degrees. So if the central angle measure is 50 degrees, then that's going to equal the measure of the minor arc. And AB only has 2 letters, so it's a minor arc. So the central angle is 50 degrees. The minor arc is also going to be 50 degrees. So make sure you put the degree sign. So the next problem wants me to find the measure of arc ADB. Well, that's a major arc because it has 3 letters. So it goes from A to D all the way around to B for that one. So it's everything except for that minor arc. So you can do it two ways. Well, actually, you can do it one way. You can say 360 degrees minus 50 degrees, and that will tell you the measure of the major arc. So 360 minus 50 is 290 degrees. So 360 minus the minor arc will tell you the measure of the major arc. All right, let's see what's next. All right. So here's a circle, and it wants us to find some arc measures. First, they want us to find the measure of minor arc RS. Well, RS is right there. It's a minor arc. And we know the central angle is 110 degrees. So the minor arc is also going to be 110 degrees. All right. Well, the next one they want me to find, I'm going to use another color here, is, go away now. I don't know how to make him go away. Okay. Is the major arc, RTS, goes from R. I still want him to be blue. There we go. R to T to S. So that's everything besides that minor arc we already found. So it's going to be 360 minus 110 is 250 degrees. So R to T to S is 250 degrees. Okay. Now they want me to find RST. Well, R to S to T is a semicircle. Well, if you look, because that's the diameter right there from here to here, that central angle is 180 degrees because it's a straight line. It goes through the center, touches the center. It's a straight line. It's 180. So a semicircle is also going to be 180 degrees. So RST is a semicircle. So make sure when you're doing your arcs, you go from point to point to point in order. Okay, that's a big difference. So a semicircle is 180 degrees. All right, let's do another example. All right, this one they gave me all these central angles right here. So that's going to help us to find the marks. Now on your practice, some of them give you the arc measures and you have to find the central angles. So just know that the central angles are the same things as the minor arcs. So first they want us to find minor arc AC. Well, the minor arc AC is the one that's less than a semicircle. So this one would not be right because that is more than halfway around the circle. So minor arc AC is the shortest distance from A to C, which is going to be from here to here. Well, those have the central angles 108 and 29. So I would add those together, 108 plus 29, and that's 137 degrees. Okay. Let's see what I can find next. Well, the next one, well, that was AC. That was a minor arc. The next one, if I go over here and do ADC, that's going to be, I can't even talk today. That's going to be the major arc that goes with that minor arc. So if that minor arc was 137, to get the major arc, it's going to be 360 minus 137, which is 223 degrees. So if we're looking for a major arc, we subtract off the minor arc. Another thing we could have done there is we could have added 79 plus 61 plus 83. So if you know the central angles, you can just add them up for whatever arc you need. Okay, let me erase some of my markings here. Maybe I won't need them. All right, the next one is ACD. ACD. Well, since I already know that A to C is already 137, I can just add 83 to that. So 137 plus 83 is 220. So that was A to C to D. That was there. It's 220 degrees. All right, the next one is E to B to D. Well, E to B to D goes all the way around there. Now, I could add all of those numbers, or I could just subtract off 61 because 61 is that minor arc right there. So E to B to D, I can just say 360 minus 61. And that's 299 degrees. Okay, so you could have done that one two different ways. You could have added 79 plus 29 plus 108 plus 83, or since it's a major arc, you just had to subtract off the minor arc, which would be 61 degrees. All right, so the next one is a you try. So pause the video here, please, and try this one on your own. Notice that they did not give you that central angle. Well, the way to find that central angle is to add the other 3 and subtract that number from 360. So all the central angles should add to be 360 as well. So you'd say 80 plus 120 plus 60, and then 360 minus that, which would be 100 degrees. All right, so pause your video here if you haven't already and find all of these arc measures. And then when you finish, hit play and I will show you how to do it. Okay, so hopefully you have already done these 6 problems before you are cheating and listening to my answers, but I'm going to go ahead and do that since y'all can pause the videos. So TQ, number 1, TQ is a minor arc from here to here, and the central angle is 120, so that minor arc is also 120 degrees. The next one is QRT, which would be the major arc that goes with that one. So you could add up 60 plus 100 plus 80, or you could just say 360 minus 120 and get 240. Okay. Going on down to number 3, wants the measure of TQR. So T to Q to R. You could add those up and get 180 degrees, or you can realize, hey, TR is a diameter, half a circle is 180 degrees. So either way, this one is 180 degrees because that arc is a semicircle. Number 4 wants the minor arc QS. So that's the shortest way to Q from Q to S, which is that way. So 100 plus 60 is 160 degrees. So remember, a minor arc is always less than 180. So if you're not sure which one it is, the minor arc is the one that's going to be less than 180. Number 5 is the minor arc TS, which is right here. And that central angle is 80 degrees. So that minor arc is also 80 degrees. And the last one is R to S to T in that order. So R to S to T is also, sorry, my T got deleted. R to S to T is also a semicircle, so that's going to be 180 degrees. So now you're ready to do, two more little things. I think these are on your notes. 2 circles are congruent if they have the same radius. So that's how you know to check circles are congruent. And 2 arcs are congruent if they are the same measure and on the same circle, or a congruent circle. So if arcs are the same measure, then they're congruent or they're on congruent circles. So anyway, what we just did right here on that U-try problem, that will get you ready for your arc measure worksheet. So hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. I miss you guys.